Hey everybody, thank you for joining me today. So today's video, we are going to be using this freshly made sketch, and you can pause here. All the measurements are already listed. I got this, I believe Christy Marcotte used it in one of her 6x6 pads. So I found it on Pinterest and we're going to get started. Make sure if you haven't subscribed already, please hit the subscribe button and the little bell next door to it. So that way you get alerts whenever I upload new videos. So let's get into it, okay? So on this particular paper that I cut, I wound up having a few fuzzies, and I've told everybody before in previous videos. Always have like either a sanding block, like the one I got from Kaiser Craft, or you can even use a nail file. And you just want to like kind of rub it along your edges. You're not trying to do major distressing. You just want any fuzzies to come off so that your card is nice and neat and clean. And then we're going to attach this to our mat. The pattern paper I cut to 4 by 5 1/4, and the mat piece is 4 1/8 by 5 3/8. And I already knew I wasn't going to be using peel offs on this particular sketch, so I don't have any out, and I knew I could go ahead and attach my pattern paper because I didn't need to tuck it under. Now we're going to go ahead and attach this to the card base. And just a few seconds ago, I was trying to pull the sketch up on my phone so that way I would be able to see it while I was putting everything together. Because a lot of times, if it's not on my computer, it's on my phone. It's somewhere where I can see it while I'm putting it together. All right, and then this one is going to be our bottom page. I'm going to glue this straight down. Now, if you want to add layers, you can always pop sections up. What I would do is probably leave this one flat to the card base, pop up the next one, and then of course the next layers after that. I did not do that this time. This time I just glued it straight to the card base. So after that's attached, we're going to grab our center piece, which is basically the blue that's in the sketch, and we're going to go ahead and tape this down. And I'm using a little bit of the wet glue so that way, you know, I can make sure I have enough time, as I've said in the past, to be able to move stuff around if I don't line it up, you know, correctly the first time, because sometimes you just have the crooksies, right? You know, no matter what you do, you put it on and it's kind of wonky. So using the wet glue does help. So I'm just placing the sentiment where I'm wanting it to go. Based off of the sketch, I wanted to use one of the longer sentiments that were in the back of the 6.5 by 6.5 paper pad. And it's a little bit shorter than what they've actually put into the sketch itself, but that's the beauty of these sketches. You can kind of change things up. So like on something like that where you may think you would like stamp your sentiment or something like that, why bother? If there's already a sentiment already made up, just replace it with that. You don't have to have it go the exact length that you see on the sketch. It's just mimicking the layout and how it looks. So I'm showing you here, in the back they had some longer sentiments. They have the square, they have circles, they have different kinds. If you wanted to just put a circle sentiment there, you could have done that too. It's all up to you. Now the benefit of kind of not, is that the word I want to say, kind of not putting stuff away all the time, is you find a gem on your desk. Now this was a little bit too green. I was trying to get it more on the bluer side, but it just, the speckled egg wasn't showing up. So I'm going to grab a paper towel and just use some white gesso and kind of spread it along this little die cut piece, which I want to say was in a collection. I can't remember when I was going to use it, or I was thinking about using it, but I'm like, this'll work. It just tones down the super greenness of it, so that it works with the sketch and the paper collection a little bit better. Once it dried, if I gave, you know, had the patience, you could then take your speckled egg and try and go over it, because you would have created that barrier of the gesso, which would have allowed you to be able to change the color and you be able to see it. So right now I'm just going to grab some the art glitter glue and just put some glue on all the pieces. And I realized later, because I went and took pictures of the cards, and some of the gesso does wind up showing up on the card base. It's just a little bit, but it's okay. And I think it's enough. It tones it down so that it's in that muted tone that the rest of the papers are, and it really winds up going or matching really well. So on this blue one, I think I'm gonna put a ephemera piece on it, and I'll show you at the photos. So this is the ephemera piece that I decided to put on. This is from Vicki Boutin, and it was just perfect. It was a perfect size, and you know, sometimes with those large die cuts, especially with her collections, this is a good sketch that you could work those in and it not seem overwhelming to the project. So thank you guys so much for joining me. Make sure you hit the subscribe and share button. That was a tongue twister. And at the end here, I will have links to previous sketch videos. And on my channel, I also have a playlist for Friday sketches. So if you've missed any, you can always go to the playlist and have a ball. Thanks again, you guys, and I hope you have a great weekend.